one of my greatest desires for myself, for my family, for my friends, for you, is that we would live life and we would allow life to happen with us. We wouldn't let life happen to us. And here's what I mean. I think a lot of us, myself included at times, I think we inevitably live reactively. Like we wake up, we get our phone, and we go, okay, what are all the things that happened in the 4.5 hours that I slept last night? And then what do I have to do to react to all those things to make sure that A, nothing bad happens, B, that I'm safe, and I can make sure that everything stays in the tightest parameters that I can to make sure everything is gonna be okay. And then we do that for 8 or 9 or 10 or 12 or 15 hours, depending on how much hustle and grind you like to do. And then we go to sleep, and then we wake up, and then we do it again. But I think what happens is when we live a life that is reactive, when we live a life where it happens to us, it doesn't happen with us, well, we wake up in a year or 2 years or 5 years or 10 years and we go, how did I get here? What's been going on? How did I miss the milestones? Where did I miss the engagement? Where did I miss the opportunity to see? Where did I miss the moments for me when my son says, hey dad, I wanna play? Why did I miss? I have a really good friend of mine, and I remember him saying this was probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I remember he has a boy who's older than Ezra, but he said, I made a commitment to my son, and I made a commitment to myself as a father, that every time my son said, Dad, I want to go outside and play, that I was going to say yes 100% of the time, no matter the weather, the temperature, how I felt. Because if my son was in a place where he wanted to go outside and he wanted to play and he wanted me to participate with him, then I wanted to be willing to do that. And I think that's a beautiful metaphor for us living life and life happening with us, life not happening to us. Right? The reaction is that it's like, not right now, dude, I'm tired. The reactive way is saying like, oh man, it's a little bit cold outside. The reaction is saying is, do I really want to go outside and sweat for the 4.5 minutes we're going to play until you're too hot and you want to come back inside? But I think the answer to that is yes. I think the answer to that is I think we should be intentional with our time. Like I think the answer is we need to be an advocate for pursuing those that we love. I think we need to be an advocate for ourselves that say, are we willing to take the steps necessary so that life can happen with us and that we can be willful and engaging participants, not so that life happens to us. If we want to build meaningful relationships with people we care about most, right? I'll use my son as an example. If I want to build a meaningful relationship with my son, then I can't wake up in 5 years and say, man, what happened? I have to be intentional to say, what are we going to do today that is specific to today, for what he needs today, for what I need today? Do I want to lay in bed every night after I put him to sleep and I'm tired and I just want to get a whiskey and I want to hang out with my wife? And he says, Dad, will you lay with me? And he's 4. Do I want to lay with him? No. No, like my gut says no. I want time for me, I'm tired. But how much time do I really have for my son to say like, Dad, come lay with me? How much time do I have that in that moment, my whole life, I've waited to have a kid and have children and have a son who wanted to spend time with their father? And so am I willing to allow life to happen with me because I get to be engaged, because I choose to be intentional, because I desire to be an advocate for pursuing those that I love? Or do I say, no, not tonight, son, maybe tomorrow? And I wake up in 5 years and I realize I never did the thing that I actually wanted to do. So my challenge to you is, how can you allow and create space for the world to happen with you, not to you, so you can be an advocate for intentionality, so you can build relationships with those that you love. But it requires that you take the first step and you don't sit back and you wait for someone else to pursue you first. Maybe it's time for you to take the first step. Pursue those that you love. And don't allow life to happen to you, but build and create relationships so that life can happen with you.